Dear friends, good evening. Today, though not very important, especially for the people appearing for winning and working, and also for other people, the topic can be very important. The topic says, geologically, there are many disturbances like faults, structures you can call. Every time it may not be a disturbance, like faults, joints, different things. So when you do mining, these structures will come across most of the times. Though you may not find its problem immediately, surely there will be some problem. These structures will create you problem even during reconnaissance, that is while you search the mineral, also during exploration, that is while drilling, and also while working in mines. To understand this subject perfectly, you need to have more or less sound knowledge of geology and the structural features behavior. Since we mining engineers, we are not so well versed to most of the times. If some of you are well versed, excellent. I will be completing it only for the important points what we get in examination. Now, what are the different geological structures? They are faults, intrusions. Faults, folds, intrusions, joints and cleavages. Joints and cleavages are more or less same. Joints are very closely spaced and they are skin to skin touched, whereas if it separates a little, it is known as a cleavage. Generally, cleavages are locations where you get good minerals most of the times, like diamonds even, okay? But faults and intrusions are also good zones for minerals sometimes, but while mining and exploration they create problem. What problems do they create? You know what is outcrop. Outcrop means what you see on the surface. Let us say you are searching for iron ore or maybe coal or maybe some other mineral. Without drilling, if you can see outside, it is exposures. I am not talking about the indicator minerals. I am talking about actually the mineral what you are searching. Sometimes it is visible. These things, when they are visible, they are known as outcrops. Except for some minerals like iron ore and aluminium, bauxite that is, you don't find outcrops for most of the other things as continuous. In some places, here, there, here, you get it. A geologist generally traces the outcrops. Now, what happens? If I forgot to tell you, even sudden dipping is also a structural disturbance. Now, if there is a sudden dip of strata, outcrop disappears. Outcrop, whatever you are seeing since 30-40 meters from the beginning, it disappears suddenly. And if a fault plane comes across, the outcrop disappears. If it is an anticline, faults, there are anticlines and synclines, what you have studied. In an anticline, if your mineral is in the limb and if the anticline top is worn out, the top it will be like this and it is worn out, then also the continuity of mineral is lost. Then formation of neck. What it is we will just see in short. Our present lesson is to see how to identify them. If disappearance is due to sudden dip, it can be identified through digging a pit adjacent. Some small picture I have given. It is not a very beautiful picture. I tried to draw it. Today in our house there is no internet. That's why I am unable to get it from website. So I tried to draw because today I am supposed to release. You will feel bad why Ved Kumar is telling lies. So I have drawn some small figure from paintbrush. I am not a good painter like some of you. What are the symptoms of a sudden dip? How do you know there is a sudden dip? Whenever a sudden dip takes place, slightly fragile material of outcrop takes place before disappearance. What is fragile? Fragile means if you take a stone and a glass mug is fragile. Stone is hard. Stone is not fragile. Now, the outcrop appears immediately if you dig or even scoop after its disappearance. So these are the basic symptoms. Here one small picture I have given. don't laugh at that picture. This brown line, whatever is there, it is the surface. You are seeing a section, okay? It is the surface. Now, here is some mineral. You can call it coal if you are a coal mining man, or a mineral here. Now, what happened? The material has dipped here. The material has suddenly dipped, you see. Dipping means it's going down. Now, if it is fault, what will happen? This entire piece will go somewhere here. If it is fold, this portion will be again appearing here. So the differences you will come to know shortly. This black material has suddenly dipped. So what happens? Here on the surface, whatever you are seeing, the outcrop, here you will not find. Now, how to know that it is a sudden disappearance due to dip? Here, in this point of X where it is, if you dig a little, here you can find that ore continuity. If you find, you will be again happy and dig more and more, that is true. But you will find ore in the bottom, but it is essential to dig in the place where there is a disappearance. So, this is the effect due to sudden dip. Next, effect due to fault. If there is a fault, the ore body will completely disappear. You can't find it. The fault can be either down through normal. We cannot recover the continuity at all. Now, in this class, really I can't explain you about down through normal. You can visit some of my geology classes where I teach MSc geology people. I teach them for GATE. So, some lectures are there. Sometimes I will post. If you are interested, you tell me, I will post them. But it is a waste of time. If you are only aiming to pass this exam, DGMS, this is sufficient. If the fault is a shear fault, lateral type, then you can trace the body depending on the throw. If some of you are interested, I can explain you later. What is the indication that a fault has taken place? I told you there, if dip has taken place, you can see it while digging in the side. Whereas, when a fault takes place, you will find slicken sides. Slicken sides means, if I just slide like this, what happens? There will be line on this, okay? If there are some rocks, then I slide, the block slides, then what will happen? Some lines will form. Am I right? Hello? Huh? So they are known as slicken sides. You can call them lines, fault lines. Then you will find fault breccia. What is breccia? When it is flowing like this, the material, when you take आटा लेके आप ऐसा करने से क्या होता? पानी डाल के थोड़ा गोल गोल बनता ना, or maybe टुकड़ा बनता ना. It becomes a piece if you put some water and atta and do like this. The same effect takes place in the mud there, and it becomes breccia. You call it breccia. There is one more name, conglomerate. Conglomerate is round in shape. Breccia is angular in shape. That is the difference. One question you may get sometimes. Breccia means B. C means round. You say, remember C. C looks round like this. So, conglomerate. C for conglomerate is round in shape. B for breccia, angle. Sudden angle. So, breccia is angular. Remember like that. Okay. Now, completely metamorphosed soil or mineral you will find. How? We will just now see. One more small diagram I have drawn. Here this red one is a mineral. You are seeing a section. This is the normal ground. Okay. Then this fault has taken place, means the block was earlier somewhere here. It got slided down and here the material got filled. Okay. Now I can tell you to imagine, after the fault took place, if you go next day and see immediately, you can't really see, it takes place millions of years, and stand here and see, you will find a sudden depression and find this material here. Now you can imagine, now after millions of years it got filled up and it is inside the earth. You are searching here, what will happen if it is inside? Can you find it? No. So, therefore when a fault takes place, it completely disappears, and this distance is the thing where it separates, known as throw. It is thrown. Now, this is the breccia zone, what I told, slicken sites and breccia. You will find here, it is the section. You can't find it. If you find it in the plane like this on this top, plane to the screen, you will find the breccia. Next, folds and other mineral body disappearance. If the mineral that is traced is in the limb of a fold, people who are more interested can go through the pictures and understand. Why I was delaying this subject is I really didn't want to teach it because you cannot understand it unless you have an idea. But questions you try to rut them, by heart them. Very small questions I have given. Another 200 questions are there on the topic where I will give them in the paid exams in future. But presently you try to simply by heart them. You will get some 2-3 marks questions in that. Now, in the case of fold, if the mineral you are searching is in the limb, then if the crust is worn out, then there will be a systematic shift of the ore body. You try to remember this, I will show you a picture later. If the reconnaissance is in the crust of the fold, the disappearance takes place, but continuity has to be traced downward. These are certain statements, you try to remember them, questions will be coming on that. If an inflection point, inflection means where the point of sudden bending of the fold axis. If the fold axis takes a bend, that is known as the inflection point. Okay, that inflection point also will cause the disappearance. Necking, what is necking? Neck मतलब गला, इधर तक तो मोटा है, ये भी थोड़ा बहुत मोटा ही है, ये दोनों के बीच में पतला है. So जहाँ पर पतला बन जाता, wherever it becomes small, it is known as necking. Now, if necking takes place, like necking मतलब क्या होता? This is all ore body, okay? In a flat, suddenly it becomes narrow. Again the ore body appears. So it formed a neck. Because you are seeing me continuously, you are finding it. Sometimes if the neck is very thin and 2 kilometers away and my head is about 2 kilometers, can you find the continuity whose head is what? No. That is what necking. I will show you a small sketch. It is difficult to trace it, but if you find that it is necking, you can walk and further find it some other place. Now, partial coverage of material also sometimes is mistaken as necking. This is the necking. I will tell you, this is the plan you are seeing, not section. Please remember, be very careful. This is on a drawing. On the surface you are seeing this. On the surface you can walk all here, you can walk on this place, and you keep the computer flat like this and see that. Then it is walking here is possible. You can walk here, you can walk on this. But once you walked here, what happened? Suddenly this thickness varied and it disappeared. So you will think that it has disappeared. You will think because Ved Kumar told it can be a dip, it can be a fault. But remember, it can be necking also like this. After necking, the continuity can be seen somewhere in other place. This is generally seen in most of the copper, zinc and other surface ores, not in coal. Coal also very rarely you see, but not in other minerals. Now, this is the narrow place known as neck. Here, for example, let us say necking did not take place. Then what will happen? This area also will be the mineral, correct? This area also will be the mineral. But if it is covered with mitti, what you will know? You can't find it. You will feel that it is only a neck. It means what I told you. Sometimes due to partial coverage, also you will mistake it as a neck. Now let us come to drilling. Until now you searched the material on the surface and you found that material is not seen, so you found different reasons. If drilling is done in a fold axis, the indications are material will be soft or fragile, or RQD value will be low. I explained you about RQD, please see that video. While drilling in coal beds, if dikes are encountered, initially high grade will come, initially grade will increase. That is, if it is sill, not dike, sill, then burned coal appears, finally clay material comes, and later it becomes difficult for drilling. I will show you one picture after this. In highly jointed and fissured area, loss of drilling fluid is experienced. When you drill, the pressure will suddenly fall down. If there is a joint area, that is the indication of a joint area, or a fault also. If a fault comes across, you will lose the pressure. The material will suddenly change from hard to soft, and the borehole instability will take place if it is a fault. Sudden change from hard to soft strata causes hole deviation. The verticality will change. Now, while workings are in the zone of fold axis, material becomes fragile and stability becomes poor. Means you don't think a small size, it is a very huge. Then when we touch a fault plane during drilling, material changes suddenly. These are all the questions. When you are drilling in a fault plane, the following is experienced. A. Material does not change. B. Material changes in drilling. C. Loss of fluid takes place. D. A and C is correct. Like that questions will come. Okay. So please do not get bored with these statements, but try to remember them. Because I told you, for you to understand this, you should have a good knowledge of geology. If dike intrusions come while working, now we have come to working. Initially the material grade increases when you approach the dike. Then it becomes highly charred and it almost loses its natural characters. The contact zone of ore and dike undergoes a lot of changes due to high temperature. I will show you a picture. Let us say this is a ore or coal. This is original ore. Earlier all this was ore only, this brown color. All this was brown color only. Now suddenly a dike, this one is a big dike. Suddenly it intruded inside. What will happen? It is something like putting a hot rod in biryani. What happens? The rice grains immediately near the rod will burn completely. A little away will cook better because of this heat. Still away you will get the normal material. Now, this is a hot rod you have kept in the coal or mineral. So this area, whatever the arrow or this light is going, this area is completely damaged. You will, in coal mines you will get some clay and some soft material because the coal has got burnt. If it is a mineral got burnt. This black zone, these lines, the material grade increases in coal, and in other areas it gets metamorphosed. Okay, mineral. Then afterwards, because the dike cannot work for kilometers together, it has some limited temperature. It will work for some zone and then normal coal will come. So this is the effect. Then because time is running out, I don't want you to hold for a long time. The slides you can read, they are very easy. Then again, when a fault takes place, these are all statements. Whenever a fault comes, be careful in coal mines. There can be sudden water or gas from that. This is what this slide mainly says. Steep dips when they come in coal mines, it takes place steep dipping. Then your method of working has to change in coal mines. Most of you working in coal mines experience that when the dip of the body changes, your entire working chaupat ho jata hai. You will also go down along with it, or you will have to make a drive in the rock. Okay. Here I don't have internet right now. Otherwise, let me see what happens. I don't think it will come. I'm sorry. No, it is not coming. So, what I request you, you please just try to click them. Once in your house or cell phone, if you have internet, you will get it. Okay. Thank you. To be frank, this subject you will hardly get one or two questions. Try to by heart a few statements. Again, in examination also I will give you very good statements. In main exams, paid exams, simple questions on this will come. Practice, because after all, you have to pass. Gentlemen, once again, I am posting. Many people have responded for mining plan sessions. It's good. It's a way of earning. Once the internet comes, I am posting the syllabus what we are going to teach. You can be satisfied with that and enroll in that. MP and 106 some WhatsApp group is there. You can enroll in that. Very soon we are going to start it. Okay, there are totally 20 classes in that. Spread over a period of 2 months or 3 months. Don't worry, I will not give every day. During your convenient times, it will be given 2 times a day at most. Thank you very much. God bless you.